On the recommendation of one of my friends, I decided during my whole boredom stage to check out the DC movies, which are Justice League, The New Frontier, the Wonder Woman movie, and the Superman Batman Public Enemies. And I heard good things about them, and I like DC. So I figured I'll try them out. So the first one I watched was the Wonder Woman movie, and I came into it thinking I was just gonna be a little kitty thing. Then I saw the beginning battle sequence with all the fighting and the Amazons and everything. It's just like, whoa, this is awesome. And then Rosario Dawson came on and as Artemis, I was just like sold, and it had my full attention. And just the whole, as I'm watching this movie, I just love the way they did the whole origins of Wonder Woman and brought in her love interest, Steve, because I feel like in a lot of like modern adaptations of Wonder Woman, they really leave him out to have Wonder Woman be kind of like the more independent female without her little male love interest thing. But he was just so funny and so well done that I really just enjoyed it. And I think I haven't always been the biggest Wonder Woman fan because she's a lot like Superman. She's an icon, not really someone you can really relate to. But somehow when I was watching this movie and watching her talk about and watching her and Steve talk about man and woman and how the whole separation of the mascara from the modern world led to a whole bunch of like less communication between men and women. And I think that this movie totally got that because it's one of those issues that with Wonder Woman where she's supposed to be like protective of the whole women against men thing, and it's just like that's because they're so jilted from what happened back with the war with Ares and how many Amazons were lost and how their sisterhood was completely destroyed, that they have this whole warped view of men, what they're capable of. And then Steve comes in like that good guy who is a guy, he's a little pervert and whatever, but that's just typical. And he shows Wonder Woman Diana that your idea of man is this one of just what your mother and what her people have experienced. It's not the entire thing. And I loved how they handled it because she's one of those characters where sometimes she kind of represents how feminism can sometimes be so overwhelming that there are feminists who don't understand that feminism is not to say that men are slime balls and men are disgusting. It's saying that we're equal. And the Amazons did not see men as their equal. They thought they were better than the men. But this movie showed that the only way to have real peace between men and women is to communicate and work together. And it was just a good Wonder Woman movie. And a good movie. Like, it was just one of those things where I'm just watching it. Like, if this had been in theaters, I would have paid money to go see this movie. It was really, really good. And it made me have a new respect for Wonder Woman. Because she wasn't always one of my favorites. This movie, loved it. And then the next one was I watched Superman... No, not Superman, Justice League: The New Frontier. It didn't hold my attention as much as the Wonder Woman movie, but I did like how they brought in that whole 50s McCarthy era thing to kind of show, like, how Americans needed a role model and how Superman, Justice League, and all these heroes were going to be those role models. And I love Lucy Lawless as Wonder Woman because I've always felt like if there was ever going to be a Wonder Woman movie, Lucy Lawless would have been perfect Wonder Woman. I mean, she practically was Wonder Woman as Xena, so that was just kind of like fangirl moment. I was like, oh my god, Xena, she's Wonder Woman. God, I was really happy. And how Jordan, his little story was really good. Like I like the Green Lantern, but I feel like he doesn't always get like the best kind of movie segments. It's always like the big three and then him. But like this one, I was just really happy. And finally, I watched Justice League, Batman and Superman Public Enemies. And as soon as I saw that they had like the original like the 90s cartoon voices, I was already hooked because Lex Luthor, that was the best voice ever. That's the voice that I fell in love with Lex Luthor with. So I was really happy to watch it and see it. And like Lex Luthor is just the best, one of the best villains ever. And his whole becoming president and kind of like winning everyone over and his whole ego ring, because he doesn't, in this movie, his evil, his wickedness comes out in the fact that he is so egotistical. He wants everyone to just praise him. He wants to get all the credit. And you see him taking the kryptonite thing, so that's warping his brain. Those of us, the comic books and the Justice League series itself. And seeing that is just, you realize that Lex Luthor could be a force of good totally and completely if he wasn't an egomaniac. That is his main flaw. As in terms of being a good character. It's his ego. He cannot stand Superman getting the better of him, can't stand everyone loving Superman more than him, so he just wants to destroy Superman. It's just that clear, because in this movie, he had an opportunity to be such a great guy. He could have saved the world, but he just couldn't do it. He has to just best Superman. That's his downfall in everything. You know, I love the Superman-Batman dynamic. Superman called Batman his best friend. That was so cute. And, like, I'm not a big Superman fan. I'm really not. But there are times in this movie where I totally love Superman. I love Superman when you can just see he is at the brink. When he's at that point where all he's thinking is like, I could kill you with my bare hands. Like, spoiler. Because there's a kryptonite meteor coming towards Earth, and there's this rocket ship that's been built by the Toy Master in Japan. So first they're gonna have it just set up to go up into space to destroy the thing. But Lex Luthor cannot have that happen, because now he has this whole warped idea that he's gonna build a fantastic race after this meteor strikes and the whole population gets eradicated. So Batman goes into the machine, the rocket, and goes up into space to go destroy the thing. So we're all thinking that, you know, Batman's gonna die, and Superman's just like, that's my best friend. And he just starts pummeling Lex Luthor, just pummeling him. And you could just see him. He wants to kill Lex Luthor. He just wants to do it. He wants to do it, but he can't, because he realizes that he has to be better than him. He has to be better than him. He has to be, the only way he can really beat Lex Luthor is to just not kill him, because that is what Lex wants. Deep down, Lex Luthor knows that the only way he can totally destroy Superman is to have Superman kill him, because that will mean that all of his morals, all of his, everything that he based himself on will be destroyed in that one moment. And the fact when Superman gets that close to it, you see Superman for what he really is. You see how hard it is for him to try and be this force of good all the time. All the time. But his own emotions are still brewing within him. He has anger. He has it in him. But he has to hold it back all the time, because if he lets go of his anger, no one's going to stop him. No one can. And that's why I just love those three movies. Check them out. You really need to watch them. If I could, I would send them all to you, but I can't. But if you can, there are some links on BitTorrent, and that you can get, and it downloads really quickly, and it was just amazing. All three of these movies, I would give them awards. I think those are three of the best movies I've seen in a while. I mean, they're better than even the movies that they pay live action to have all these freaking CGI effects. That's what I'm trying to say. A good story and a good script can make a movie great without any special effects. A good animated movie with good dialogue, good casting, a good plot is better than any live action CGI thing you could pop out. So check it out. Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, the Wonder Woman movie, and Justice League New Frontier. Really good.